My abusive stepdad claimed it was an accident every time I changed clothes. My name's Kayla, and I'm 25 now, but this story started when I was 21, fresh out of college, broke, and forced to move back into my mom's house in small-town Pennsylvania. Mom was over the moon to have me home. Her husband, Todd, pretended to be. He'd always been overly friendly when I visited. Too many hugs that lasted a second too long, too many comments about how grown up I looked. But I brushed it off. Mom loved him, and after everything she went through losing Dad, I wanted to believe she'd finally found someone good. The first accident happened 3 days after I moved in. I was in the bathroom changing into pajamas when the door suddenly opened. Todd froze in the doorway, eyes darting over me before he slapped a hand over his face. "Jesus, Kayla, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were in here. I thought your mom was." He backed out quickly, mumbling apologies. I was half-dressed and shaking, but I told myself it was just bad luck. The old bathroom lock stuck sometimes. He'd been careless, not malicious, right? I let it go, but I started locking the door anyway. 2 weeks later, I was in my bedroom changing after a run. Door closed, music playing quietly. Then the handle turned. The door cracked open an inch before I slammed it shut with my foot. "Todd!" I shouted. "Oh, sorry, kiddo. Thought you were downstairs." Downstairs? He always thought I was somewhere else. I started noticing little things after that. The faint click of the hallway floorboards outside my room at night. The way he always seemed to be nearby when I was heading to the shower. How his eyes lingered too long. It wasn't paranoia, it was pattern. The breaking point came a month later. I just finished a shower and was halfway dressed when I heard my bedroom door unlock. The click of metal was unmistakable. I froze. The door opened and there was Todd, holding a small silver key. He stammered, "Oh, sorry, didn't know you were in here." My pulse spiked. "Why do you have a key to my room?" He hesitated. "It's a master key for emergencies. Your mom locks herself out sometimes." "Get out." He did, muttering something about misunderstanding. My hands shook as I locked the door behind him. I barely slept that night. The image of him standing there with the key kept replaying in my head. I didn't want to believe it. Didn't want to think my mom's husband was watching me like that. But I knew. So I decided to get proof. The next day, I drove to a Walmart 2 towns over and bought a pair of discreet security cameras, one disguised as a USB charger, another shaped like a smoke detector. I set one on my bookshelf facing the door, the other above my dresser. Both streamed to my phone. I didn't have to wait long. 3 days later, while I was at work, I got an alert. Motion detected. Bedroom. My heart dropped. Mom was at her office. Only Todd was home. I opened the live feed. He was in my room, going through my drawers, my underwear drawer, holding things up, sniffing them, taking photos with his phone. I couldn't breathe, couldn't blink. I watched him violate my privacy in real time until he finally left the room, calm as anything. I saved the footage immediately, to the cloud, to a hard drive, to my email. Then I called my best friend Lena and told her everything. "Kayla, you have to go to the police," she said, "right now." I wanted to, but I was scared. Scared Mom wouldn't believe me, scared Todd would twist things, scared of breaking my mother's heart. That night, I told her I was sleeping at Lena's place, but instead, I went to the police station. Detective Sanchez listened quietly as I explained, then watched the footage. She didn't hesitate. "This is criminal," she said flatly. "Voyeurism, invasion of privacy, potentially more depending on what's on his phone. You did the right thing coming in." We filed the report. She took my statement, copied the footage, and promised to handle it carefully. Then came the hardest part, telling Mom. Detective Sanchez came with me. We sat Mom down at the kitchen table. My hands were trembling as I said, "Mom, Todd's been coming into my room while I'm changing. I caught him on camera." At first, she looked confused. Then I showed her the video. Her face drained of color. "No," she whispered. "That can't. He wouldn't." But when Todd walked in and saw the detective, his face told the truth. He went pale, then defensive. "I didn't do anything wrong. I was just checking on her. You're all overreacting." Detective Sanchez cut him off. "Sir, we have video evidence. You need to come with us." Mom started crying as they cuffed him in our living room. I held her hand, both of us shaking. The next weeks were a blur of interviews, statements, and nightmares. The police searched his devices and found hundreds of photos, some of me, some of other women. Shots taken through windows, cracks in doors, public changing rooms. It turned out Todd had been at this for years. A woman from his previous job came forward after seeing his arrest on the news. She said he'd made her uncomfortable too, always standing too close, accidentally brushing against her. Another woman, his ex-girlfriend's daughter, said she'd once caught him watching her shower through a crack in the door, but nobody believed her then. Now, they did. The prosecutor filed multiple charges: voyeurism, unlawful surveillance, and invasion of privacy. The evidence was overwhelming. Mom filed for divorce immediately. She told me one night, eyes red, "I thought I married a good man. He fooled me completely." "It's not your fault," I told her. "He fooled everyone." The trial lasted almost a year. I had to testify. It was brutal sitting across from him while he smirked like nothing was wrong. His lawyer tried to paint it as misunderstanding, that he was concerned about me, that the photos were accidental. But the jury didn't buy it. After 3 hours of deliberation, guilty on all counts. He got 6 years. I cried when the verdict was read. So did Mom. So did the other women. Afterward, the detective hugged me. "You stopped him, Qley. You probably saved more people than you'll ever know." The months after the trial were strange. The house felt haunted by what had happened. Mom sold it and moved into an apartment closer to her sister. I found my own place across town. I started therapy. At first, I just cried through the sessions, but slowly, I started to heal. One day, Detective Sanchez called again. "Just wanted to let you know, we found evidence Todd might have been involved in similar cases in 2 other states. He moved every few years whenever people got suspicious." My stomach twisted. So there were more victims? Most likely. We're contacting them now. I thought I'd feel relief knowing he was caught, but mostly I felt sick. How many people had been hurt before someone believed them? 6 months later, I got an email from a stranger named April. "I think I met your stepdad years ago," she wrote. "He managed the apartment building where I lived. I once found a hidden camera in my bathroom vent. The police said they couldn't prove anything, but after reading about your case, I'm sure it was him. I'm sorry for what he did to you. Thank you for stopping him." I cried reading that. It wasn't just me. It never was. 2 years later, Todd tried to get early release. The parole board denied it. His behavior in prison was disruptive and manipulative. Mom and I both submitted statements. She wrote that she never wanted another woman to experience what we did. He stayed locked up. And then, one morning 3 years later, I got a call. Todd had died in prison, heart failure, 54 years old. I thought I'd feel vindicated, but mostly I felt empty. Then, slowly, I felt peace. Mom cried, not because she missed him, but because she finally felt safe. We didn't go to the funeral. The next year, I spoke at a university safety seminar. The dean had heard about my case and asked me to talk about recognizing grooming and trusting your instincts. I was terrified at first, but once I started speaking, the words poured out. I told them how predators hide behind accidents, how gaslighting makes victims doubt their own reality, how evidence can mean survival. Afterward, a student came up to me with tears in her eyes. "My mom's boyfriend makes me uncomfortable," she whispered. "I thought I was crazy, but hearing you, I think I need to tell someone." I hugged her and said, "Please do. Believe yourself. It's not in your head." That night, I knew I'd found my purpose. Now I'm 25, working full-time as a graphic designer, but part-time I run an online support group for voyeurism survivors. We share resources, connect people to legal help, and remind each other that what happened to us isn't our fault. Mom's remarried now to a kind man named Dan, and she's genuinely happy again. She still flinches when she hears certain noises, and so do I, but we're both healing. Sometimes people ask if I regret setting up those cameras, if I wish I'd just moved out and avoided the whole ordeal. But I don't, not for a second, because that decision changed everything. It stopped Todd, it helped other women find justice, and it showed me what I was capable of. Predators thrive in silence and doubt. The moment you expose them, their power evaporates. So if you ever feel that something's wrong, someone crossing boundaries, someone making you feel unsafe, trust yourself. That instinct might just save your life.